You up just right.
Flesh Pounds are kind of similar to Strakes in that they do have kind of this enrage feature. The difference is that a Flesh Pound, the enrage triggers when you do a lot of high DPS to the Flesh Pound, not when they reach a specific health. And the rage can also trigger randomly. And I believe that there may be a trigger also if you were to... I'm just going to switch to support here for this. I'm going to pick up a crossbow. While I'm thinking about it and fill up on grenades. Okay. But the enrage of a Flesh Pound can trigger randomly, or it can trigger when another unit comes closer than the Flesh Pound's intended target. Flesh Pounds do pick a single target. When they first spot someone, they will lock onto them and start attacking them. And even if another teammate attacks the Flesh Pound will not attack anyone other than the person that they initially locked onto, unless that person breaks the line of sight. So if you break the line of sight on a Flesh Pound that's following you, he's going to go after a different teammate. Generally, you actually want to avoid that. What you want to do is you want to use this to your advantage. You get some teammates that the Flesh Pound is not targeting to stand between you and the Flesh Pound, and they can slow him down, they can intercept him, they can block them with their bodies, and beat them up while you get off scot-free, because the Flesh Pound will not target them as long as you do not break that line of sight.
Put it to good use.
Now, the main thing with Flesh Pounds is that they absorb lots and lots of damage. Unlike the Scrake. Now, the Scrake actually has an immunity to explosives. The Flesh Pound has a weakness to explosives. So things like frag grenades are actually very useful against the Flesh Pound, as you can see there. At the same time, though, the Law Rocket specifically, the Law Rocket does not do any significant amount of damage to the Flesh Pound. So, use other explosives. Don't be tempted to use the Law Rocket. And as you can see there, I'm not even a sharpshooter, but playing on normal with only one player, you can single shot a Flesh Pound with the crossbow as long as you hit him square in the head. That is your number one weapon against Flesh Pounds. Always have a sharpshooter on duty to take him up in the head. Now, keep in mind that if you have more players in the game, they do get tougher. A lot like the Scrakes. The Scrakes also get much tougher the more players you have in the game. So, and as you can see there, he's now enraged, and he's going to come charging at me. I'm going to use this AK-12 shotgun with a very high DPS to try and put him down before he can kill me. And, you know, notice here, a Scrake wouldn't do this. A Scrake wouldn't charge at you unless you pissed him off. But these guys just kind of randomly piss themselves off and then they keep charging at you. That makes them dangerous. You do have to deal with them quickly, like a Scrake, kind of kite forever.
I want you to know, babe.
Excuse me. Okay, this last round here is just going to kind of throw everything together, and after that I'll show you the Patriarch. So just kind of bear with me for this last round, and I'll just kind of show you a culmination of basically all these different Zeds and how they appear in the game. I'm going to switch to the Sharpshooter perk to demonstrate one particular combination. You know, most of these combinations I've shown you before in terms of weapons are not particularly useful in the actual game. They're mostly just useful to me in that demonstrative purpose to show you how to combat these different Zeds. In the game, you're not going to do something like run around as a firebug with a crossbow and a katana. You just don't do that. It's not going to be helpful to your team. But in this particular case, I'm going as a sharpshooter, and this is a combination that works pretty well with the sharpshooter. You're going to have these dual hand cannons, which is a high DPS, high rapid-fire weapon that you can use at medium to close ranges. And the crossbow, which works really well for picking off really powerful units at in the distance. So I'm going to move here to this choke point, and try and hold this choke point against the Zeds. And hopefully, we'll pull through this last wave pretty well. One thing I have to watch for is people sneaking up behind me, since I don't have any like pipe bombs or anything down in the tunnel, which would have been helpful for this. We're just going to have to kind of wing it. Keep an eye out, basically. Notice I gotta target that siren before she gets close. And Flesh Pound again always takes priority. I see that Husk over there, I gotta take him out quickly too. Fighting this Scrake again until I can deal with these other Zeds, because I don't want them attacking me while I'm running a shot to take them out. And that was the last one.
Something really big's coming.
Now, in terms of the Patriarch, I have to say that no matter what class you pick, they all are going to have their advantages and disadvantages for dealing with him. Generally, the main thing you want to do that's going to be the most helpful is to just pick one class to deal with him and have the whole team do it. Have the team play together. Otherwise, you can pick multiple classes on the team and just make sure that you designate people to do their jobs. You know, fill them full of lead, whatever you got to do. So, I'm actually going to switch up my hand cannons here for an M14 VR. Oh, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. Why don't I go with... I'm just going to go with support here. I'm going to take the AA-12 shotgun and the M32 grenade launcher. And kind of a classic example of, you know, there's no such thing as overkill with this guy. So you just get as much ammo as you can carry, drop some pipe bombs, you know, whatever you got to do. But there's no such thing as overkill with the Patriarch. Ultimately, some strategies that do work fairly well are to go as demolitions and just lay a whole lot of pipes and somehow lure him into them. You do want to spread them out, though, because one single pile of a ton of pipes isn't going to do as much damage as you expect. So make sure he runs over them kind of in quick succession. Other things that work include crossbow bolts to the head. Works with everything, just like it works with a Patriot. You can use Berserkers to body block him, keep him from running away to heal, because he will do that up to 3 times. If you do a lot of damage to him, he will cloak, run away, and heal, which makes him difficult to finish off. Or you can use a commando to watch him while he's cloaked and try and chase after him, prevent him from healing, track him down before he gets a chance. Again, it works pretty well. You just gotta have a commando dedicated to doing the job. The other final option is just, you know, fill him full of lead. Use high DPS weapons. Switch between weapons as you need to. Make sure that you're doing as much damage as you possibly can. And hope for the best. I mean, ultimately, though, I've seen basically every possible combination of different perks go at the Patriarch and finish him off in funny and hilarious ways. So just pick whatever you like, whatever you enjoy, and it gets the job done. Alright, I hope this was informative to you. I hope it helps. Have a great day, and remember, skycommand.org/killingfloor for more tutorials and information. Alrighty?